So, in Squatch Talk last night, I gave my quick answer for what is Bigfoot. Here is my more complete answer, because I really have 3 answers to that, and it's not simple. My short answer is the one I gave last night. More or less, look in a mirror. That's basically it. That requires more detail, but if you want a quick answer, that's it. They're pretty much us. My second answer: when I use the term Bigfoot, I am wrapping all of the phenomena that people associate with this monster in the woods. To many people, everything that happens in the woods is Bigfoot, so I accommodate that thinking with my use of the word Bigfoot. I don't think all of these phenomena are related to a large hairy hominid that lives in the forest. I think there are other things going on that we mistakenly associate with them because we don't have a good understanding of what's going on. So my third answer details the first, and when I talk about the flesh and blood creature, the large hairy hominid, I use the term Sasquatch. Sasquatch is the real-life creature in the woods that lives in the forest, right up to the edge of our cities. Now, let's set DNA aside and consider our current understanding of the natural world. Their hands are like our hands. Their feet are like our feet. In fact, there are people who present the vestige of a mid-tarsal break. So some of us have that in our makeup. Based on some witness testimony, their females develop breasts without pregnancy. We are the only known mammals to do that. Dental imprints in bones that have been processed by a predator with opposable thumbs present a surface profile more like that of our Neanderthal ancestors. And many of us do carry Neanderthal DNA as well. The only branch of the phylogenetic tree with all of these traits is genus Homo, of which we are currently the only living branch that we know of. However, the lineage you learned in school is wrong. That idea is broken when you look at our DNA. We know from exploring the DNA of Homo sapiens sapiens that variations within our population present the distinct DNA of at least 6, and probably more, different species of hominid for which we have no fossil evidence. In school, we learned that the strong will eliminate the weak, but our genetic history tells us the truth. We got together with them. We brought them into the family. We assimilated them into our culture. Next time you're at a store, look at the people you pass in the aisles. Observe the different shapes of skulls and jaws, the differences in ears, the relative length of fingers, shapes of the nose. If you're on the beach, look at the feet and the toes. These differences represent hybridization events in our ancestry. We are all hybrids. Sure, there is a scale difference. The handprint left on my car was shaped much like mine, but it was about the size of a dinner plate. Yet the physical traits common across thousands of eyewitness accounts is consistent with only one reasonable conclusion based on our current understanding of the natural world. Of course, we don't know this with certainty. It's just what we expect to find when we learn to understand these creatures. Are they dangerous? Well, any large animal is potentially dangerous, even us. Maybe especially us. Just because you're startled or afraid doesn't mean the thing you're afraid of is evil. We demonize things that terrify us so deeply that we do not want even our friends to bother us with information and reason. But primates, including us, present different emotions. They often present what we might call disdain, with grunts and huffs, scuffing their feet on the ground, snorts, light growls, and so forth. Primates, including us, present threat with growls and howls, snorts, yells, throwing things, shaking things, brush and trees, stomping about, and so forth. They show their teeth, they stare, they charge and retreat, bluff charges, while doing all of these things. If you hear threats in the forest, even if you do not see what's making these actions, it might be best to leave the area. It is likely that people who do not get the memo here may make the evening news, as it were. Evidence suggests that if we don't listen and they really want us to leave, they will escalate the threats, and then it's probably a good idea to leave. However, there is also evidence based on people who have observed these behaviors that they will test people for their fear. When we are afraid, we are dangerous and unpredictable. Most animals are. Some evidence suggests that if we do not run away in terror, they may actually relax a bit and at least tolerate our presence. Maybe even more so if we tolerate their curiosity. That might be a way to be able to start to get along. There's risk in that, so be aware of that. Now back to demonizing. Let's think about this for a moment. Our generally Western Christian background suggests in that early mythology that we were created living in innocence, naked in the forest, in an idyllic lifestyle. We broke the rules. We got kicked out. We wrote the history of how that happened to make us look as good as we could. We have a lot of baggage in our history. And now we find something that looks a lot like us, living naked in the forest, living perhaps that idyllic and unencumbered lifestyle that was meant for us. And perhaps we are a bit jealous. Who in this equation is more evil? I am the curious cryptid, and it is at least my goal to make you think a little bit. Maybe you won't change your mind. Maybe you'll at least think about it.